Here is every level of YouTuber apology, starting with level 1, the gold standard, which has two main features: absolute ownership of the mistake and zero defensiveness. The creators behind these apologies understand that the only way forward is by taking accountability, as shown by the production studio Watcher, whose founders put their audience front and center after criticism for paywalled content.
It was insensitive. We didn't properly express how much we appreciate all of you. We also want to deeply apologize for our ignorance around the impact of the cost.
These apologies work because they refuse to get defensive, like when PewDiePie addressed his use of a racial slur.
I said the worst word I could possibly think of, and it just sort of slipped out. And I'm not going to make any excuses to why it did, because there are no excuses for it.
Admitting that he had a long way to go as a YouTuber.
Seems like I've learned nothing from all these past controversies. I'm just an idiot. But that doesn't make what I said or how I said it okay. It was not okay.
Taking accountability for your own actions is one thing, but apologizing for your fans' behavior is the gold standard at this level.
It's never, ever acceptable to harass an individual or a place of business. Period. End of story.
Referring to his viewers spamming restaurants with calls in June 2022 after watching his latest Five Nights at Freddy's theory.
So I hopped onto Google Street View to check out other details that the book mentioned, like the old cinema, which used to be a pizzeria.
Despite being just a theory on the real-world location of a fictional restaurant, some fans took it too seriously, leading to frustration among local business owners. I work in a small diner in southern Utah, and we got 17 calls over my shift asking if we were Fazbears. Now, I don't fault Matt for this event. I fault dumb kids who think they can solve this never-ending mystery. These kids were inspired by Matt's video though, so their actions painted a target on the YouTuber's back. Matt Pat when he prompts public harassment from millions of people. Matt responded to the growing backlash with a legacy-defining apology.
This is me formally saying to those business owners who may have felt harassed or burdened by this, I am sorry. I am so sorry. It was never my intention to cause issues for people or businesses.
The game theorist followed this up with a firm reminder to his fans.
There is no lore, no interesting animatronic discovery that would be worth violating anyone's privacy or disrespecting other people in the real world or online.
This piece of wisdom had the internet fawning over his response. I love how his message is stop, clear and straightforward. No music or silly graphics, no beating around the bush or softening the blow. This is the hallmark of level 1 apologies, which rely on accountability to help YouTubers survive the messiest situations. But what happens when this accountability is removed? Well, this brings us to the apologies in level 2, aka the almost accountable. These statements try to achieve level 1 by sounding sincere, but fall short because the creator can't fully accept responsibility. Shane Dawson shows us how it's done with his infamous video from June 2020.
Every apology video I've ever made has been from fear. It's me sitting at home thinking the whole world hates me and crying and hyperventilating.
Now, this confession came after intense backlash over his past use of blackface and sexual content involving minors in old skits. Shane's honesty, however, felt more like self-pity to fans than owning up to his mistakes.
I should have been punished for things I should have probably lost my career for. At the time, I'm willing to lose everything.
He would indeed lose it all, with YouTube demonetizing his channel and Target removing his books from their stores. In the wake of his apology, even his fans turned their backs, resulting in a loss of 1.5 million subscribers, a pattern experienced by David Dobrik after he sat in front of the camera to address the predatory actions of his Vlog Squad members.
I've been really disappointed by some of my friends, and for that reason, I've separated from a lot of them. I think with any video I make, my main purpose is to make people happy and inspire people, and I never want anything to get in the way of that.
Even though David addressed the situation, viewers pointed out the missing pieces in his response. Hardly any acknowledgement that the entire scenario was made possible by him. No acknowledgement that Dom explicitly thanked David after graping a girl, and he just goes, "You're welcome." The timing of this statement was also disappointing, because instead of coming out right away, his tears and sadness have only come at the expense of basically all of his sponsors. David was powerless against the industry though, since sponsors like EA and HelloFresh dropped him anyway, much like how Logan Paul dropped the ball with his apology.
CoffeeZilla is not a criminal. I called him, I apologized. My initial response to his series was that of fire and ego.
Addressing the internet's Sherlock Holmes, whom he called out just a week prior for criticizing his crypto scam. The apology also extended to the victims of his failed project.
I am personally committing 1,000 ETH to this, which is about $1.3 million right now for players who want to get out.
In response, the crypto detective gave credit where it was due.
It's great that victims are going to get something back. Logan seems to acknowledge his continuous lapse in judgment
before highlighting why it was a level 2 apology.
Many of the victims just have been ignored in this response. A lot of accusations have gone unanswered, and worse, Logan still seems to be playing the victim a lot.
This conclusion was supported by most of the internet against Logan. Dude can't even say he's sorry without playing the victim card. You were the face and the leader of this project, so you need to own up to it. Logan went on to prove these comments right, expressing his true feelings by suing the detective a year later. And this is because level 2 apologists acknowledge the mistake while protecting their ego. Now replace this ego with theatrics, and you reach level 3, the dramatic apology. These apologies are emotional performances that look powerful at first glance, but they offer very little substance and even less accountability. Take it from makeup YouTuber Laura Lee, who tried to apologize in 2018 after the internet exposed racist tweets from her past.
I want to talk to you guys in this video. It's been so hard.
This kind of emotional outburst dominates level 3 videos, leaving little room for accountability.
I hope one day that you guys can save me for the woman that I am.
A statement that failed to inspire sympathy from her audience. Whenever I feel like a bad actor, I look back at this video and see how I could have been and automatically feel better about myself. This is the running theme in these apologies, as they often come across as annoying and fake, which many felt was a good description of James Charles in 2021.
I fully understand my actions and how they are wrong. There's no excuse for them, and I don't plan on making any in this video either.
An ironic statement, given that he would do the opposite while addressing his inappropriate texting with minors.
And it is ridiculously embarrassing to admit this, but I think I have to, and that is that I'm desperate.
Following up with an appeal to his viewers' emotions.
My hope has always been to be in a relationship with somebody around my age or older that I can relate to and that can make me laugh. And unfortunately, I've not been able to find that person yet, but the idea of actually being in a relationship became so important to me that I was willing to trust too quickly.
Leaning into the victim role is a classic feature of level 3 apologies, but it fails to have the desired effect on viewers. I don't care how effing desperate you are. Stop effing or trying to F your fans. With the apology increasing the backlash against James, the YouTuber was forced to delete it. An escape route that wasn't taken by Tana Monyo, who still ended up reading from the same hymn sheet.
Today's video is going to be the hardest video I've ever had to film. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I am so nervous.
A standard level 3 introduction where the YouTuber tries to gather sympathy before revealing the ugly truth.
There are a few videos of me as a freshman in high school calling my best friend Amari, who is black, the N-word.
Further explaining her use of the racial slur.
I said that I thought it meant homie or friend because I wanted to make it seem like less of a big deal because I was so scared.
There were moments of honesty, but they were overshadowed by her constant attempts to lean into emotion. This pattern continued when Tana was forced to talk about her controversial reaction to iDubbbz, a YouTuber who was also under fire for racist remarks.
And I heard him saying the N-word, and I ran to Twitter and tweeted him and said, "Why do you say the N-word?" And then after like a few minutes, I deleted it. My best way of explaining that is that I am such an impulsive idiot.
Viewers felt she was more than just impulsive though, making their feelings clear with a 78% dislike ratio. iDubbbz says the N-word. Tana tells him to K-word himself. Jake Paul says the N-word. Tana marries him. This hypocrisy was just part of the problem, with the internet wondering what had taken her so long. She's learning at 20 what I learned at 12. Combined with the fact that her apology was monetized, people weren't willing to buy into her emotional response. This is because level 3 apologies try to mask the lack of accountability with dramatic displays. But when viewers get tired of the theatrics, YouTube YouTubers often panic, leading them down the chain to level 4, the damage control. These videos are more like crisis management theaters. YouTubers stop trying to look emotional and start thinking strategically. There is zero remorse as a result, with the goal being to protect the brand and minimize responsibility, even if it means using a furry prop in your videos.
Cooper, I have no idea how I'm gonna record this video, dude.
These infamous words came after gaming YouTuber Trevor Martin was found guilty of promoting CSGO gambling through a website without disclosing that he owned said site. In response, Trevor uploaded Exhibit A on damage limitation.
I do want to say that I love you guys. You guys seriously mean the world to me. You have for the past 6 years that I've been on YouTube.
After 40 seconds of expressing his love for the community, Trevor finally got around to his apology.
I do not condone minors under the age of 18 to use CSGO Lotto. This is and always has been a clearly stated policy available both in the terms of service as well as the initial sign-up page on the website.
I always found it funny that he spent more of his time explaining how what he was doing wasn't illegal than actually apologizing. That's because level 4 apologists don't think they're wrong, but do feel obliged to respond so they can save face. A situation that the Fine Bros found themselves in after the internet called them out for trying to trademark the format of reaction content.
So we're trying to protect it and not run the risk of losing our channel name thanks to someone else getting the trademark. But just because we have or might get trademarks doesn't mean we're going to run around and start taking down videos.
This approach tries to deflect blame, often at the expense of YouTubers' audiences. Apology? They told their fans that they are too stupid to understand their idea. Level 4 apologies, therefore, feel insensitive, much like former Try Guy Ned Fulmer's strategy, which viewers described as the final boss of weaponized therapy.
I practice empathy and listening and boundaries with Ariel.
Talking about his ex-wife, who was at the center of a scandal that rocked the Try Guys world in 2022.
On Labor Day weekend, multiple fans alerted us that they had seen Ned and an employee engaging in public romantic behavior.
Given Ned's online persona, his community felt betrayed. The fact that Ned was that guy who always talks about his wife and was the symbol of family man in this show is killing me. It was hurting his former colleagues too, who made their verdict clear.
The three of us signed written consent approving the removal of Ned as a manager and an employee.
Booted out of the group and his marriage, Ned reacted by disappearing in the shadows until September 2025. His resulting apology was not only long overdue, but also a masterclass in self-preservation.
I hurt you, and I hope to make amends over time. And one step is to publicly witness the pain of my partner, Ariel.
This was followed by a podcast with Ariel, where Ned hoped to revive his image.
It's hard to hear you saying like, no, I don't forgive you. But of course I get it. As much progress as we've had, you're still very angry.
And so was the internet, who felt Ned had stooped even lower. I can't believe he's really interviewing her about him traumatizing her. Such was the backlash against this level 4 apology that Ned was forced to explain himself yet again.
I really believe in the mission of the Rock Bottom podcast to foster conversations with empathy and curiosity.
By shifting the conversation to his new channel and calling it a step in the right direction, Ned went right back to level 4 damage control. YouTubers at this level want their audience to forgive and forget. They try to rush this process by focusing on optics instead of genuine remorse. This tactic, however, does not work in the final level, the self-destructive non-apology, where YouTubers handle a crisis so poorly that no PR manager can save them. Like TikToker Sienna May in 2022. If it weren't for the headlines across the internet, no one could have guessed that this was a response to serious SA allegations from fellow creator Jack Wright.
When I was sound asleep, she'd come into my room and I'd wake up to her hand in my pants.
This statement was further affirmed by 2 witnesses, leaving Sienna in a tricky spot. She responded by first denying the allegations, and when the backlash reached a peak, apologizing through interpretive dance. She just got outed for the worst possible thing, and her response is to thank her sponsors, say she is young, and start dancing. This is the main theme of the Level 5 playbook, where the response tends to be the furthest thing from remorse.
Many years ago, I used to message my fans, but not in a creepy way like a lot of you are trying to suggest. It was more of a loser kind of way.
With over 2 million dislikes, Colleen's ukulele apology for her PDF file behavior got the treatment it deserved. I actually can't believe this is real. The sad thing is that it is clear she put a bunch of effort into this song. Level 5 apologists, therefore, combine the worst of every level, from leaning into emotions to controlling the damage and brushing away responsibility. These elements were on full display during the notorious YouTube family Daddy of Five's apology.
We could give them a whole lot more than we could give them before, and we just felt like we were doing the best thing that we could for them.
Talking about their kids who were subjected to verbal and physical abuse at their hands for the sake of content.
What the f- I didn't do that!
What the hell is that? What the hell is that?
What is this?
Cody!
Tell me! I didn't do that!
These pranks naturally shocked viewers, with the backlash forcing the parents to get rid of all evidence. It wasn't enough, though, because their abuse soon became a news headline.
Maryland family that sparked controversy after posting videos of pranks involving their children on YouTube.
Following the public outcry, the YouTuber parents sat down to explain themselves.
This has been the absolute worst week of our life, and we realized that we have made some terrible parenting decisions.
In true Level 5 fashion, the apology ignored the issue of abuse, leading viewers to highlight how they were glossing over the situation. Worst week of our life? Yeah. You gave them damage for their whole lives. You're disgusting. The video only proved that they were sorry for themselves and not the kids. The effort was in vain, as they not only lost custody of their kids, but also faced 5 years of probation, making Level 5 apologies a surefire way to destroy your reputation instead of recovering it.